Today I'm going to go ahead and show you how to actually make those LED strip lights that I've been using inside of the buildings. I want to show you the parts that I use. And as always, I will put the actual links to the actual parts that I purchased to do it in the video notes, and we'll take it from there. So please join me for the ride. Hello. So as you can see, there's not much I need to have here to work with. I have a soldering iron, but I've used other ones before that just a stick soldering iron works just fine. I have the strip of lights that I'm going to cut up, scissors, connectors. These are my wire strippers. I like these because they're not too bulky. I have some solder flux to help that solder stick to the wire, my solder, and over here I have it's just a ZW80 that I use for powering, doing my testing. And that's just temporary until I get a regular power supply that I can use all the time. So let's get started. I'm going to lock on here. I'm going to set this thing down. Okay. And let's take a look here. There's not much to it. Maybe? Let's see here. All right. So I'm going to take and basically, my soldering iron's already turned on over here. I'm going to take and find the end of this, which is, there we go. I've done these in sets of 3 and 6, and I prefer 6 because they do put out a little more light. You can take a look at this. I'll take a closer look at this. You can see that there are the cut points that you can make at every 3 LEDs, different areas where you can actually cut these things. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's take a look here. So I'll take a closer shot of this here in a moment. I can cut that right there. Just like that. And the nice part about that is it leaves ends on both ends that I can actually solder to in the future. Now this little gizmo here is pretty handy. I use it to hold my wires in place while I'm doing this because there's nothing worse than chasing what you're trying to solder all over the table when you're doing it. And let me lock that in place just like so. It's pretty simple. Now, I'm going to treat this with these things. They're male and female. So what I'm doing is I'm putting the actual female end here on the device that I'm plugging into the power. So here's the power line, which is the male end. I'm basically treating it like any other thing that you plug in. You'd put the female end in it on the lights here, so, or whatever you're trying to solder up. Okay, so let me strip these guys down just a little bit. Not too much, because you don't want a whole lot of bare wire hanging out there, especially if you're working with expensive power supplies. Alright, so there's that one. Here's this one. Now, let's strip that guy off. There we go. And you try not to strip off too much wire because you want to have something that will pass the power through. And in this case, it looks like, look at that. I don't think that's a stranded. I'll be darned. Okay, it's just a solid wire. Anyhow, let's take a look here. Now I've got that in place. I have this in place. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get some solder going. I'm going to take in, to make this stick a little easier, I use this flux. Stick my wires in there, get a little bit of that stuff on there. That'll help the solder stick to it. And then what I do is usually, oh dear me. Looks like I got my lights a little too close to the soldering iron. Hopefully they're fine. I'll find out soon. And let me take a look here. So let's put a little bit of solder on these. I like to add a little solder first before I go ahead and solder to that, so I'm not trying to do two things at once. So I'm going to put these guys here, just like so. So just like so. I keep saying that. And I'll grab my soldering iron, and you can just get a little bit going there. Pre-solder these guys, and you don't need too much, just enough to get them started. All right, got that going for me. Take a look here. Now they're pre-soldered. Oops. Now I'll kind of turn this around, and I'm going to stick these to the lights. Now, if you take a closer look at these, you'll see that, I mean really close, there's a positive and a negative on these things. So I want to make sure that I put the red to the positive side. I'm going to have to take a closer look at that because I cannot see. Luckily, I've got a light here with a magnifying glass on it, so I can see that the positive in this case is on the right hand side. Good deal. So I'll stick this back in here, and I will take my soldering iron. I'll grab a little bit of solder off my little piece I've got right here. Get a little ball on the end of that, not too much, because you don't want to make a mess. Just like so. And I'll just hold my wire there and drop that ball right on the end, and voila, just like so. I'll do the same thing one more time here. A little bit of solder and stick it right to the light. Oh, look at that go. That might have been just a little bit too much. I don't want to get sloppy. I'll wipe off my soldering iron tip there so I don't make them. And there you have it. Oh, that looks nice. Ooh, got a little too hot there. Nope, no, actually that's just the printing on the back. Perfect. Okay, now let's see if this works. I'm going to grab I'll grab a male end, plug this guy in, and then I'll grab my test leads over here off the trusty ZW and plug these guys in. So there's I'm going to have to strip back just a little bit off of here just so I can plug it in. Even with alligator clips. I'm going to strip that guy off there just a little bit there, just a little bit here, and that's what they say, just a little bit here, a little bit there, and looks like I still got something left there. We're good to go. Let's put the black on the black. Negative, positive, and oh, looky here. Oh, that's a dandy. Now I have a light strip I can use in any building. I can run it inside of a tunnel, a car tunnel, as lights for vehicles to see. Let me turn off this light here, and oh, well, you can almost see, boy, that's just, those really put out a lot of light. So, and there you have it. That's all there is to it. Now, what I'll do is run my power on the layout to this male connector wherever I want to pop it out, underneath a building or wherever, and we're good to go. So thank you for listening.